Some women seem to get exactly what they want in life. Things just seem to work out for them. But here's the thing, it's not luck. These women move through life differently. So in today's video, let's talk about 10 tiny micro habits of women who always seem to get what they want. Hey friend, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Jillz and I help women step into their power, tap into their divine feminine, and become their best self, live their dream life. So if that's something you want to do, you should subscribe and stick around. And in case you want more from me besides just my YouTube videos, you can check out my deep dive feminine energy course or any of my other digital products like my best-selling Notion templates. They are all linked down below. You've probably noticed how some women just move through life with an energy that attracts things to them. Love, opportunities, success, it all just kind of seems to flow. It's like everything works in their favor. And if you've ever wondered why this is, why some women seem to get everything that they want while others are constantly struggling in the background, I want you to know that it is not random and it's not just about working harder. The difference is that they value themselves differently. They show up differently. They move through life differently, and that changes everything. And the best part is some of these things are simpler than you might think. So let's get into it. Here are 10 super tiny micro habits that you can do that women use to get what they want. Now first, women who always get what they want don't say yes to everything. They're intentional about what they commit to, because every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with what you want, you say no to something that does. Right? Think about it. Every time you say yes, you say no to something else, and you are pushing what you actually want away. Here's something I want you to remember. Saying yes to everything is a sign that you are living in scarcity. I have to say yes, because what if nothing better comes along? I should help even though I have no capacity to, but I don't want to disappoint anyone. I'll just do it because saying no feels uncomfortable. But women who get what they want know better. That every no creates space for something else, for more time, more energy, or just more of what actually matters. So the tiny habit, before you automatically agree to something, take 2 seconds, just 2 seconds, and ask yourself, do I actually want to do this? Does this align with the life I want? And am I saying yes because I want to, or because I feel like I should? When you start protecting your time and energy, everything shifts. You stop settling and you start seeing yourself as someone who is deserving of more, and that mindset carries over into everything. Now let's move on to number 2. Women who get what they want don't just automatically assume that whatever they want is out of reach. In other words, they don't look at success, love, opportunities, and assume that they are meant for someone else. They don't sit on the sidelines watching other people land their dream jobs and build these incredible relationships and think, that can never be me. Instead, they have one simple but tiny but powerful mindset shift that changes everything. Why not me? Think about it. How many times have you talked yourself out of something before even trying? You see someone with the career, the money, the confidence, the relationship, the lifestyle you want. And instead of thinking, I could have that too, you assume that there is some invisible barrier between you and them. Like they have something special that you don't. But what if they don't? What if the only difference was that they believed it was possible for them? The women who always get what they want, they don't just automatically assume that things are out of their reach. They assume that they are just as worthy of love, of success, of abundance, of whatever it is you want. And they are just as worthy as anyone else. And because they believe that, their brain starts working in their favor instead of against them. And hear me out. As soon as you start thinking, why not me? Instead of just saying, oh, I don't know how, or oh, no, that'll never work out for me. Something shifts in your mind, and this is important. Instead of shutting down, your brain starts looking for solutions. Instead of, I could never start my own business. Why not me means you think, well, let me figure out what my first step would be. Instead of, I'll never meet the right partner. Why not me means you think, what kind of energy am I putting out? Am I even open to receiving love? Instead of, I'm not naturally confident. Why not me means you think confidence is created. What can I do today to feel more confident? The moment you shift from self-doubt to curiosity, from it's impossible to maybe I can actually have this, you open doors that you didn't even know existed. The women who get what they want, they aren't special. They're not luckier than you. They're not smarter than you. They're not more deserving than you. They are just looking for open doors that you assume are closed. Now, the next tiny micro habit is that women who get what they want don't just stop at the point of, I don't know. And let me explain. Most of us have been conditioned to shut down when we don't have an immediate answer to something. We say, I have no idea what to do. And then that's where the thought process starts, right? We hit uncertainty and we freeze. The moment we don't have a clear answer or a solution to something, we just kind of assume that there isn't one. So we stop looking, we stop trying. And without realizing it, we close the door on what we actually want. I don't don't know how to get that dream job, so they don't try. I don't know how to make more money, so they assume it's impossible, only reserved for special people. I don't know how to fix my dating problems, so they assume this is just the way it is. All men suck. But women who always get what they want, they think differently. When they want something, or when they hit a challenge or a roadblock or a moment of uncertainty, they don't just take that uncertainty as a dead end. Instead of saying, I don't know, and stopping there, they assume there is a way to make this work. There is a way to get what I want. There is a way through this problem. They expect that solutions exist. And when you expect them, you find them. Instead of just stopping at uncertainty, they ask, what's the next step I can take? Who can help me figure this out? Or where can I find the information I need? And because they actively seek answers, they find their way, they figure it out. Think about it. Imagine that you are driving somewhere and you hit a roadblock. The road is closed. Do you stop the car, get out, and assume that you will never get there and just give up? Of course not. You take a detour and you keep moving. And it's the same with life. Women who always get what they want still experience obstacles just like every other person, but they also expect to find solutions. And that expectation is exactly why they do. Now, next, women who get what they want actually ask for what they want. Because here's the thing, if you never ask, you'll never get it. Asking doesn't guarantee that you'll get what you want, but not asking guarantees that you won't get what you want. Want a better table at dinner? Ask. Want a complimentary upgrade at your hotel? Ask. Want a raise at work? Just ask. Want access to an exclusive invite-only event? Ask. Will you always get a yes? No, but you'll be surprised at how often you do just because you asked. But here's where some people go wrong, especially women. When they do ask, they try to soften their words or over-explain or try to sound as non-demanding as possible. Think about it. Have you ever caught yourself saying something like, hey, I know you're super busy, but do you think you could maybe help me with this thing? If not, it's totally okay, no worries. Or, I hate to ask, but could I possibly get an extension? I've just had a lot on my plate lately, just a lot of things going on, and it would just really help me out. Would I be able to get a little bit of an extension? We come at it with this energy of, I shouldn't be asking this. This feels awkward. But women who get what they want, they are still polite, but they just ask. They are not trying to justify their wants or their needs. Hey, I know you're super busy, but would you maybe be able to help me with this? Hey, I'd love your insight on this. When you're available, can you take a quick look? Would it be possible at all to maybe get a table by the window? We'd love a table by the window if one's available. So if you want something, ask. But also, before you ask, pause and ask yourself, how would I phrase this if I already believed the answer could be yes? Because people who ask with confidence are far more likely to get what they want. So next time you catch yourself over-explaining or apologizing or assuming the answer is no, stop. Just ask, because the worst that can happen, they say no and absolutely nothing changes. But the best thing that can happen is you get exactly what you want. Now, number 5, most people don't realize that what they say and the literal words that they speak reinforces their experience. They say men are the worst and they wonder why they keep attracting the wrong type of guy. They say I'm always broke, then keep finding themselves in situations where money feels tight. They say nothing ever works out for me. I'm so unlucky. Then they question why they never seem to get what they want. Women who get what they want know that if you don't want more of it, don't speak it. They're intentional about how they talk about money, love, success, all of it. And they know that words have energy, words have momentum. So instead of, I can never afford that, it's, that's not a priority for me right now. Instead of, I'm stuck in this job, it's, I'm figuring out my next step. Instead of, all the good guys are taken, it's, there are great guys out there. I just haven't met the right one yet. So the tiny habit is this. If you wouldn't want it multiplied, don't speak it into existence. And no, this isn't just about toxic positivity and slapping a smile on your face and pretending everything is rainbows and sunshine. It's about being intentional with your words, because the way you speak about something shapes how you experience it. So the next time you catch yourself saying something negative about an area of your life, ask yourself, is this something I want to multiply? And if not, maybe figure out a different way to say it. Be mindful of your words. They have more power than you realize. Another super little micro habit, and I know this sounds silly, but imagine wearing a crown on top of your head. Literally, actually imagine wearing a crown on top of your head. When you do, your posture shifts, your head lifts a bit, your shoulders relax, your energy expands. You naturally carry yourself with more confidence and grace. This isn't meant to be just some cheesy metaphor. Your posture literally changes when you imagine something on top of your head, and your energy just ever so subtly shifts. The women who always get what they want, they move through life like they belong. They don't second guess themselves. They're not apologizing for taking up space or having desires or needs. But if I were to sit here and say, start moving through life like you belong, you would be like, huh? How do I do that? So instead, tiny little habit, just imagine a little crown on top of your head, and all of a sudden you start acting a little more like that. So try it. Next time you walk into a coffee shop or go run errands or go to the grocery store or sit down at work, imagine that crown on your head. Notice how your posture changes. Notice how your energy shifts. Notice how you feel. Notice how people respond to you. It's a tiny shift, and yes, it's cheesy, but it's also one of the simplest, most practical ways to embody that I belong here energy. Next, women who get what they want know that if they want something, they need to put themselves in it. Here's what I mean. Most people unintentionally keep their desires at a distance, not because they don't want them, but because it's unfamiliar, and deep down, maybe they don't actually believe that they can exist in a world that has them. If something that you want feels intimidating to you, that is a sign that you are keeping it at a distance. And if you're keeping it at a distance, your brain will continue to reinforce the belief that this is not for me. If wealth makes you uncomfortable, where in your life are you avoiding it? Are you afraid to walk into 5-star hotels? You don't have to stay there, by the way. Anyone can walk into those nice swanky hotel lobbies. You can get a cup of coffee there, or get a little dessert or a tea, or just hang out in the lobby. Anyone can do that. If seeing someone live a life of ease makes you irritated, why? Do you believe that things have to be hard for you? If successful women make you feel less than, what part of you believes that you can't be one of them? This isn't about copying or comparing or anything like that. This is about normalizing what you want so that your brain stops seeing it as this pipe dream and starts seeing it as an expectation. Because whatever you distance yourself from, the further you push it away. So the tiny habit is this: whatever you want, whatever you desire, be in it. Observe it, immerse yourself in it as much as you possibly can, even before you technically have it yet. Find a way to step closer to the things that you want. If it's your dream to move to New York City, follow New York City content creators. Look online at cute little apartments in the West Village. Pretend like you're trying to find a rental. Watch Gossip Girl. Surround yourself with it. Stop distancing it. If luxury makes you uncomfortable, but that's the kind of life you want one day, go walk through a high-end store and just be there. Go to Chanel or something, admire the pretty bags, try one on, feel what it's like to have one on your shoulder. Stop distancing it. If confidence feels out of reach, follow women who embody it, not to envy, not to compare yourself to them, but to soak in their energy, to learn from them. Stop distancing yourself from it. If a certain lifestyle feels impossible, put yourself in spaces where people are already living it. Stop distancing it, because what you never allow yourself to experience, you never allow yourself to have. Back when I was living in an apartment in LA in a neighborhood that I didn't like very much, it wasn't the safest, I got yelled at a lot. What I did sometimes was I took my dog, we got in the car, we drove 30 minutes, and we went to a very beautiful, affluent neighborhood with the gorgeous houses, and that's where we went for our walk. We did this almost every weekend. I let myself be in it, the reality I wanted to experience. I wasn't there yet, but I put myself in it. And like 8 months later, I moved into that neighborhood. If you want to get what you want, this works almost every time, at least eventually. You have to make your desires feel normal, not far away, not unrealistic, not for other people, but normal. When something feels normal, you stop repelling it. You stop acting like it's impossible. You stop separating yourself from it. You stop making decisions from a place of, oh, that's not for me. And instead, you start aligning yourself with it naturally. So instead of staying on the outside looking in, if you want something, step into that energy. It's a necessary part of getting what you want, and some women are not afraid to do this, and that is why they eventually get exactly what they want. All right, next, let's talk about money, because a lot of people want more of it. And let's be real, money brings security, opportunities, ease, and a whole lot of breathing room. Sometimes we can have a complicated relationship with money, but the next tiny habit, start talking about money like it loves you. Women who get what they want don't view money as some unreliable, untrustworthy, flaky ex who disappears when you need it most. They treat it like it's loyal to them. Money wants to show up for them, just like how a loyal, healthy, masculine partner wants to show up for them, wants to take care of them, wants to surprise them in all the best ways. That is how they view money. They trust it to be there for them. So tiny habit, every time you talk about money, talk about it like it loves you. Imagine it's a stable, committed, masculine partner who absolutely adores you and wants to show up for you. And if money were a person, how would it feel about the way you talk about it, right? If you told a devoted man in your life, I don't trust you to take care of me. You never show up for me. You're so unreliable. Guess what? It's gonna push them away, right? Same with money. If you say those things to a good man, eventually it will push him away. But that's how so many people speak about money, like it's something that abandons them instead of something that's on their side, and eventually it'll push it away. So just try shifting your language even just once today and start talking about money like it's your biggest fan, like it loves you. Instead of, I can't afford that. It's, I'm making space for that. Instead of, oh, I never have enough money. It's, money always has a way of showing up for me. Instead of, I hate dealing with money. It's, I'm learning how to take care of my money, so my money takes care of me. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to force positivity, and your financial situation isn't gonna dramatically change overnight. But if you wouldn't say it to a man who absolutely adores you, don't say it about money. That's it. That is the tiny habit. Treat money like it loves you. Try it once today, then again tomorrow. See what shifts. Now, number 9, the next tiny habit, is how you respond to rejection. No one likes being rejected. Nobody wakes up in the morning thinking, God, I really hope I get rejected today. But here's the thing, women who get what they want, they don't take rejection personally. They don't spiral. They don't make it mean anything about them. They see it as redirection. Have you ever looked back at something you previously wanted so badly? Maybe it was a job, a relationship, or an opportunity. And now you're like, oh, wow, I really dodged a bullet with that one. That's redirection in action. That is life stepping in saying, no girl, I got you, not this one, something better. But in the moment, it can kind of feel like the end of the world. Have you ever heard of burnt toast theory? It's basically the idea that if your toast burns in the morning and you are running 5 minutes late because of it, maybe you were supposed to be late. Maybe you missed a car accident by 30 seconds. Maybe you avoided a run-in with your toxic ex at the coffee shop. Maybe being 5 minutes late allowed you to meet the absolute love of your life. Maybe something tiny and frustrating actually protected you or redirected you. The same goes for rejection. It's not rejection, it's burnt toast. Slightly annoying now, but it might just be saving you from something that wasn't aligned, wasn't safe, or wasn't yours. So here's the tiny habit. When something doesn't work out, instead of saying, oh, why is this happening to me? You say, okay, burnt toast. That wasn't mine. Something better is on its way. Because women who always get what they want, they don't chase what's not aligned. They trust that rejection is just divine rerouting, and maybe that closed door means that you weren't meant to walk through it in the first place. And when you hold that energy, something better always comes along. And lastly, let's talk about night routines, because women who get what they want set themselves up to win the night before. Now, TikTok might try to convince you that you need a 15-step bedtime ritual every single night before you go to sleep, or you will have a bad day tomorrow. And if you love that kind of thing, then amazing, all power to you, but it doesn't have to be that deep. It's not about doing the most. It's about doing what works, because consistency beats perfection. And women who get what they want know that if you want to get what you want, if you want to achieve what you want and create the dream life that you want, you have to set yourself up for it, because chaos is sneaky. You think, oh, it's fine. I'll clean up all the dirty dishes in the kitchen in the morning. Then you wake up to a messy kitchen and you're already overstimulated by 9 a.m. So instead of trying to reinvent your whole evening routine, this is the tiny little micro habit. Before bed, do one thing that your future self will thank you for, because a few intentional minutes at night can make your entire next day feel so much smoother. Laying out an outfit so you're not scrambling in the morning. Tidying up your space so you don't wake up to chaos. Writing down just one top priority so you start the day focused instead of scattered. Tiny things, nothing overwhelming, nothing complex. But when you do them consistently, they create momentum. Just a tiny intentional act like that tells your brain, hey, this is the direction we're going in. So tonight, pick one small thing to do, just a tiny small thing to do to set yourself up for success tomorrow. Just one. Maybe it's putting your gym clothes on your dresser for the morning. Maybe it's clearing off your work desk. Maybe it's making a quick to-do list of all the things you need to do tomorrow. Then do it again the next night, and the next, and just watch how those tiny micro habits start adding up to something bigger. Now, if you love this idea of tiny micro habits, I personally do, because I just feel like it feels so practical and simple. You can check out these 2 videos here. This one is all about tiny micro habits to increase your feminine energy, and this is all about tiny micro habits that actually improved and changed my life. Just depends on what you're looking for. So I'll see you over here, or I'll just see you next time in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here and staying until the very end. Bye.